guess I'll just start recording now then.
Alright, now you guys can go.
Debate pings. Okay. So, I'll just start then. So, Jin, you'd agree that, Toji, scales below Sukuna, right?
Which Sukuna?
15 fingers?
No.
You think Toji's above that?
Yeah, I think,
What did he do?
I think Toji would, wash Gojo, and Gojo is quite...
Why is Toji beating
Sukuna
Gojo?
Toji's beating Gojo because I think that, we obviously agree, Yuji...
Toji lost to Gojo. Right? Why is he beating Gojo? That fight canonically happened and he lost. Yuji scales to Gojo. You agree? Or Jogo, whatever you want to say. I don't care. I don't care about that. I want to stay on this right now. Is Toji?
No. I'm saying the reason I'm asking if you think Yuji scales to Gojo
because if you think Yuji scales, it's not that complicated.
Bro, I am answering the question.
It's a yes or no question. It's not that deep, bro.
Yeah, you can answer a question, another question. Like for example, if someone says what's 2 plus 2 equals 5, and you say you answer back with another question saying 2
But I didn't make
4,
any
right?
assertions. I just asked a simple question. Do you?
Yeah, and I'm answering the question. I'm responding to the question with another question. Because that's how we come to a conclusion.
Just answer the question.
No, it's not. No.
It's literally
It sounds like
do you think this? Yes or no?
It sounds like it's not yes or no question. It sounds like you want to ask an enclosed question, but enclosed questions are rat, and you know why? Because it limits you.
I'm just asking. Do you think 15 Finger Sukuna beats Toji?
Yeah, and I answered. I said no, and I went on to say,
okay.
I answered. I said no.
Okay, so you don't think that? Gojo, so why is Toji stronger than 15 Finger Sukuna?
And then I asked you, do you think Yuji scales to Gojo?
That doesn't matter.
And then you yes, it does matter.
I don't need to answer anything right now. I'm just asking you questions.
You probably do, because I'm trying to set out these baseline things that we're going to
mine first. I'm just asking. I need to ask you some questions. I need to find out where you stand on things.
You can do it at the same time. What's wrong with you?
I just feel like you're dodging right now. I haven't even made an argument. You're dodging. How is?
I'm just gonna say this, right? If Yuji scales to Gojo, right, that means that Gojo can damage 15 Finger Sukuna to some extent.
I haven't accepted or denied anything. I'm just asking.
I'm going on the basis you have accepted, right? We can go into that later if you disagree or not.
I haven't set forth any
problem. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna finish explaining, and if you have a problem, you can respond after I'm done.
Well, that's rat, because that implies if I don't respond that I don't have a problem, because I could have a problem and not respond.
I mean, you. Oh, that's your fault. The fuck?
No, not at all.
Yes, it is. The hell, that's like saying right. I make a point. That's like me saying I make a point. I say Goku's stronger than fucking Beerus, right? I mean, actually, what's your problem? You have anything?
No, Jin. I can say things for later.
And you're like, I don't know, bro. That just means that you have no problem.
You're dragging this off topic when I ask you fucking 2 questions for.
It's not off topic. I'm answering the question by giving you lines of saying. And you're like, oh shit! I don't have to answer because
I just asked you a simple question, and now you're derailing and talking about stupid shit.
Answering the question.
So I'm just gonna ask you the question again, and then you can lay it out simple, more clearly, because you're just rambling right now. Okay. Okay.
Since Yuji scales to Gojo,
do you think?
Gojo
I don't think.
Sukuna,
wait.
Do you not think?
I'm fine with Yuji being above Gojo.
Okay, then we have and Toji is above fucking Yuji.
That's your premise, right? That if you're using that to justify this argument, then that's circular.
Bro, okay, Valor, I don't care. Circular things are right. That's fine.
That's rat. No, it's fallacious logic. Give me a next argument.
It's not rat, because Valor, look, think about this, right? Levi said, my premise.
I don't care about your justification, bro.
No. I'm gonna explain.
If it's fallacious logic, then because there's a difference between things that must epistemic circularity and things that fallaciously circular.
You're being retarded.
I'm trying to conflate the two, and they're not conflatable.
I'm not conflating the two, right? I can say my premise is that X blitz Y, right? And under that extent, I can say that the premise since X blitz Y, he is stronger than Y, right? And that's obviously circular, but we can just say
that wasn't what you just proposed to me, though. That's not analogous at all.
Okay, so I didn't. No. That's not the point. The problem I'm trying to get with you, I'm trying to say that circular things are fine, right? So my premise is that Toji's above Yuji, right? And I say by feats, Toji just has better feats and shit. Stated stuff like that.
Okay, that's a justification for the premise, though. What you just gave. You get that's a justification for the initial. Okay, hang on, I'm talking, bro. Shut up, I'm talking. Why are you still speaking over me? Be quiet. I'm talking, okay?
So it's not.
Okay, Jin, be quiet. I'm trying to talk. I can't have an argument with you. If you're just gonna talk over me, that's not how this works. So you're gonna be quiet. Don't let me talk, or are we just gonna go back and forth all day?
How do you agree it's circular or justification?
So you're just gonna keep repeating yourself, like just like fucking smashing your head into the wall. Like you look retarded right now.
That's fine. A retarded person can beat you up. Then that's crazy.
That just further proves that you're socially inept. Oh my god. Okay. So as I was saying, right, the reason that it's not the same and it's disanalogous, and that in this case it's circular, is because the example you just gave, you're giving a justification for the initial premise, whereas in the first thing you said, your initial premise is the justification. Those two things aren't the same. They're different instances of an argument. So the first one sounds like you have to agree either. Now, I can continue asking you questions now because I want to further see your stance on a few things. Okay. So, I'm fine with like Yuji being above Gojo. That doesn't matter to me at all. But you realize you understand that Yuji fights Yuta, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and you understand that Yuta reacts to Yuta multiple times, right?
Say Yuji reacts to Yuta multiple times. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, and you understand that based on that fight, Yuji thinks that Yuta can beat 20 Finger Sukuna, right?
When do you say 20 Finger Sukuna?
He says if I eat the next 5 fingers and he takes control of me, I think you would be able to kill him. You'd be able to kill me. It's pretty clear.
He does? Let me get that.
Yeah, it's in it's when he wakes up after getting stabbed.
So it's like chapter 40.
Something like that.
41. No. 41 something just one
43.
43. Alright. Okay, let's see.
For mine is 44.
It's 44?
Yeah, it's 44. Yeah. Sukuna is plotting something involving Fushiguro. He probably took over my body in Shibuya because I ate 10 fingers all at once. I've ingested 15 fingers so far. Even if I ate all remaining 5 in one go, I doubt he'd be able to take control. But if I ever switch with Sukuna again, don't hesitate to kill me. I think you could do that.
Oh, that's fine. I would just say, Yuji saying that Yuta and like Yuta relative. Yuta and Sukuna relative, because it's literally stated in the fan book.
Yeah. Okay. I don't care. Right? I don't care about the rest of what you're saying. Right? Yeah. I know what you're talking about. It doesn't matter to me. Right? Based off what Yuji saw, he makes this. He makes this. Right? He says this. He states this. And what Yuji saw was him fighting that Yuta. He was able to react and dodge that Yuta. So Yuji would scale to this level. Toji has no scaling at all that would put him anywhere near 20 Finger Sukuna.
If you agree, Yuta scales to Yuta, right? Yuji scales to that suppressed Yuta who he's been seeing, right?
Yeah, that's fine, because now he shits himself when he sees that Yuta.
Does he shit himself? Can I see that?
Yeah, he's literally like, thank God I didn't talk about Megami. That was scary. Like, he was shook.
That had to mean he shit himself, because obviously, like, now was trying to be low key about killing like Megami. He doesn't want to get found out.
Let's slow down.
Okay, let's slow down, right? I'm saying that Naoya doesn't let to jeopardize his reputation.
Hang on, I'm just going to get the scan.
The next head of the winning team.
I'm not like.
I'll drop it in scans. I got it.
Okay, so he says.
He says, "Oh, I'm so scared I didn't bring up Megami." I'm saying that's not.
I wish I hadn't mentioned Megami. That was scary while he's looking at Yuta, and like even when Yuta first appears, he gets like this like shake effect. Like everyone realizes he's there, and they're all like, "Fuck, someone's here." And they're like, they all like.
Now Razi is there, but the only person who ever has indication that shit, he's scary is fucking Yuji, because he's the one that makes the statement.
The words out of Naoya's mouth was scary. That situation was scary.
No, Valor. Those are two different things, right? No. I'm saying that Naoya is saying that was scary because he's not trying to ruinize his reputation, because he's trying to be the next head of the Zenin clan, right? Yes,
why would he care?
Because obviously,
you know he's
why would he care?
You know he's fine with telling Yuji and Choso, and he doesn't plan to kill either of them. He's just I'll break your legs. Hang
Valor, you sound stupid.
We can't hear you right now, Jin. Like, slow down. You're rambling. You're just going like you need to slow down, bro.
He is fine with telling Yuji and Choso, because he is going to kill them, right?
No.
So that's
he
not.
He literally says he doesn't care with.
Yes.
You know what the words out of his mouth are? I can recite them to you, because you clearly don't seem to remember.
You can recite them. Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
He says, right, what are you two doing? You totally stand out. Don't you want to run? How do you know? Blah, blah, blah. My business is with Megami, so I honestly don't care if you live or die. But I can't have you scampering around, so I'll start by breaking your legs. That's all he says. He doesn't care about them. He just can't have them running around, so he's gonna break their legs so they can't run off and tell people, right? So he says, then they ask, what do you want with Megami? And he's like, I think I'll have him die, but it'd help if he wrote something out first, right? So then he goes to beat them up, right? Then when Yuta appears, he's like, I wish I hadn't mentioned Megami. That was scary, because he didn't know if Yuta was listening to him or not. And obviously he knows that Yuta is friends with Megami, because they have a relationship. So he is scared because this dude just pulled up, and he's like, oh no. If I say if he heard about what happened to Megami, which he clearly didn't, that was scary. He's literally shook by that situation.
I just think that Naoya is trying to say that he doesn't want his plans about what he's gonna do to get Megami and shit in the head of the Zenin clan to be leaked out because of his reputation.
Well, can't it just be both?
Because I don't believe that. So
that isn't a justification, retard.
I mean, it is
I don't believe something's an argument for incredulity. Give me a real argument.
I think the scans that provided just doesn't lead to that conclusion. That's why I'm saying I don't believe it.
Okay, that's circular.
I think it only leads to
you haven't given any scans. You gave an argument. I was like, wait, these things don't contradict each other. They could just be both true at the same time. I don't think so. That's not an argument, loser.
Yeah, that is an argument, because I just don't think the scans lead to that conclusion.
You can think that's an argument, but I've already dismissed it, because it's just not what you gave wasn't justification, so it's fine. We can move on like that.
What the hell is wrong with you?
What did you say? You cut out again because your mic's terrible.
I said saying the scans don't lead to that conclusion is fine.
You think the scans don't lead to that conclusion?
Yes, because I think it's quite indicative that Naoya wants a good reputation and doesn't want things to hold back his reputation. So only saying, "Oh, that's reference to his reputation, not about strength," is just fine.
I wasn't listening. Sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay, I'm saying that can be a reference to his reputation only, because he wants to have a good reputation and have no criminal. That way, he has a better chance of people not going against him, and that way he has a better chance of getting the head of the Zenin clan.
What does that mean? He can't be scared of Yuta.
Okay, I'm saying that the statement is only in reference to one specific criteria. I need you to prove or get something else, some more evidence that proves he's scared as him as a fighter.
Some other piece of evidence implies this one isn't good enough. Why is my argument not sufficient?
Because I just said that is in reference to trying to have a good reputation, nothing else.
You're presupposing your argument is true for a start. Secondly,
that's fine. I think
I've already explained to you, right? How he's scared of the situation, and and I've explained to you. I've given you a reason as to why he should be scared of Yuta. He's just like Gojo. He's a special grade, so he's clearly fearful of him. He's not a special grade. They're obviously ranking him below this.
I'm pretty sure Yuji said that, not fucking Naoya.
No, they all concur, because it's trying
to
prove
that.
What? They all sense his energy, and they all get fucking shook by him.
No. I think that they all sense energy, right? They all sense energy, but Yuji says oh shit, he's creepy, and you can't prove
Yuji says that now. But Naoya, Choso, and Yuji all sense this dangerous energy. But Yuji's the one who comments on it, right? We're not seeing this from Naoya's perspective.
They all sense him. They all sense him, but only Yuji has indication that he
No, we don't know what the other two are thinking. We just follow Yuji's perspective.
Okay, so why are you making the claims you don't know?
Hang on, I'm not done. Like you're like trying to assert things, and I'm not done. Chill, calm down. Okay. So all three of them sense him. They all have this background effect, obviously implying that like, because that's kind of like, it's kind of, they use that like effect for like shaking. They use it in Demon Slayer quite a lot when like they sense like a heavy presence. So that's generally what that effect denotes, right? Now Yuji's the one who comments on it. He's sweating when he comments on it. He's like, oh fuck, is that Gojo? No, it's something creepier. And then they see Yuta, right? So they've all sensed this presence, this pressure, and Yuta drops down. He crushes like the wall, and Yuji and like Choso are kind of shocked by it. We don't see Naoya in frame.
It sounds like you can't prove right? Naoya.
Hang on, I'm not done. And the first words out of Naoya's mouth is him trying to side with the Yuta. He's like, I'm on your side. You're a Katsu, right? And he's like, who are you? And it says, just like Gojo Sensei, he's a special grade sorcerer. Yuji says that, right? We can assume. Hang on, I'm not done. Stop interrupting me. I'm not done. I don't care. I'm not done. I don't care. I'm not done. I don't care. I am not done. I do not care. I am not done. I do not care. I am not done, right? Okay, let me continue. Then, despite despising Maki and like hating her, right, and bullying her, he said his first instinct, the first way he convinces Yuta that he's like not someone he should be fighting is I'm Maki's cousin, right? I'm also here to kill Itadori. When earlier he said that he couldn't care less if Yuji was there. So he's lying to try and convince Yuta not to fight him, obviously, like because he doesn't want to fight Yuta, which goes into my interpretation, my argument of he is afraid of Yuta because he literally says that was scary, the situation was scary. This all gives us a big reason. This all gives us a big reason to understand that Naoya is probably like pretty fearful of Yuta, and that doesn't mean that your argument can't be true as well, because they don't contradict each other. So now you need to justify why mine is both wrong and yours is right at the same.
Or he doesn't want to fight three people at once. Because obviously if he fights two people versus three people, one's harder. Obviously.
He has no problem fighting 2 versus 1.
Yeah,
he has no problem fighting at all. He had no concern about Yuji and Choso. He literally couldn't care less. He just chose to fight because he wanted to.
I just think that Naoya thinks that he doesn't want to fight 3 people at once. That's all I'm hearing. He doesn't want to fight 3 people at once.
What's the justification for that?
Because he doesn't want to do that. Just based off the
he doesn't want to fight 3 people at once. Why doesn't he want to do that? He just doesn't want to do that. That's circular.
The fuck? It's shown! Bro, it's literally just shown. He's like, I don't want to fight this person and these people.
He doesn't want to fight
outside with him to get more allies.
Because he's scared?
No, he doesn't want to fight all 3 of them.
Like I've justified?
No, or he just want to fight 3 people. It's only he just want to fight 3 people.
Wait, even better, right? I'll just give you the same argument. It can be all 3 of those interpretations at the same time. None of them contradict each other.
No, it can't. Because the reason why it can't is because if we already established that Yuta's relative to Yuji, and now was already beating up both Choso and Yuji at the same time, Yuta wouldn't be a question. You just beat his ass too, right? But it's obviously
what did you say? We've established he's relative to Yuta, right? But like, why is like Naoya have any relevance to the scaling?
I'm saying that Naoya has already beat Yuji and Choso at the same time.
Why was he beating Yuji and Choso?
Bro, okay, I'm just gonna post the scans of him just blitzing and like fucking.
Okay, do you know why he blitzed them? There's a reason that he was able to blitz them, right? Do you know why that is?
He's just faster. Yeah.
No. It's because Yuji didn't understand the 24 frames of Naoya's technique, because it fucks with your reaction speeds. There's a difference between. Have you ever played a fighting? Have you ever played like a fighting game like Street Fighter?
I don't think it messes with your reactions.
So in a fighting game, right? There's a very big difference between something moving at 24 frames and something moving at 60 frames, right? A fighting game at 60 frames is much easier to react to, and much even though it's at the same speed. It's not. It's technically at the same speed. Even though it's technically at the same speed, it's much harder to react to than it is when it's at 60 frames, right? Because 24 frames is a lot. It's basically like borderline unreactable, right? And this is kind of what's happening with Yuji, right? Because Naoya, hang on, I'm not done. Stop cutting me off, okay? Because
I posted the scans, like you're seeing irrelevant shit, like you can see them seeing him.
Okay, Jin, we're literally talking about the scans. We're literally talking about the scans, bro. Like,
bro,
you're just like
literally throwing punches.
Jin, we're literally talking about the scans. We're literally talking. I don't know why you're like spurting out right now. You look like a fucking clown. Are you gonna let me like finish my argument, or are you just gonna look like a gorilla in chat? Like,
no,
so you're not gonna let me? Are you gonna compromise dialectics? Like, just concede?
The scans make you look stupid.
The scans don't make me look stupid, so I'm giving context to them.
You can literally see on this on panel that they see
I know what I see, and I'm giving context to them.
So they're not having trouble reacting
Surprisingly
at
enough,
all.
despite what I said before, context does matter. So I'm gonna give context, right?
Slow ass reaction speed, and you can't react yourself playing games. That's what.
So I'm gonna give context, right? And you're gonna let me finish, right? Otherwise, I am just gonna call you.
No, I'm not.
I'm refusing to let the debate continue.
I don't.
So you're just refusing to let the debate continue? So you're just gonna concede?
We can still debate. I just don't have to let you finish the sentence.
How can we debate?
Like if you're gonna say something retarded. If you're gonna say something retarded,
how can we debate if you're retarded is subjective? Like, how are you gonna let me? How are we gonna continue to debate if you're not gonna let me finish?
Retarded is not subjective.
If you're not gonna let me finish, how can we debate? Answer that question, Jin. Answer the question.
Baseline thing about what's retarded.
You're right. You're right. Lazy, we do need a moderator. Who wants to moderate? Ice, do you want to moderate? Watch him be AFK like a fucking degenerate. We don't need a moderator. I mean, okay then. Like, I'm gonna continue with what I was saying.
Hey, I'll do it. Give me a VC mod.
Fuck no, you're not moderating, David. Fuck that.
Wait. Why isn't David moderating? I believe in him.
We're not having David.
Say less.
Fuck that.
Come on.
He's gonna say some dumb shit.
Wow, you're not gonna let David moderate.
Well, anyway,
compromising dialectics.
As I was saying, right. So the reason Yuji was struggling to react is because of the 24 frames and how Naoya's technique works, right? So Naoya divides his movements into 24 sections, right? He makes 24 movements within a second. And until you understand this, until you're able to actually perceive these like 24 movements as 24 movements, like Maki does, it greatly like affects your reaction speeds, right? Because Yuji himself even notes this. He's fast, but something's weird, something's not quite right. And then Choso's like, it's probably a curse technique. Like, Yuji understands that, yeah, he's fast, but it's something's off, something's not quite right. And we see another example of like techniques fucking with your reaction speeds with Sukuna and Gojo. At the very start, in episode 1, or like fucking chapter 3 or whatever, Sukuna fights Gojo, and he's like fighting Gojo, and he says, he's fast? No, it's something else. So it's not even that speed that's disrupting Sukuna's ability to fight him, it's something else. So there's a clear indication that lacking understanding of how a technique works can fuck with your reaction speeds. And we see that blatantly with Maki, right? So let me explain, let me give the example, right? So Maki, hang on, Maki...
You literally couldn't get past Infinity.
Huh?
You literally couldn't get past Infinity, that's not an argument. Sukuna literally just couldn't get past Infinity, that's why I said like something's wrong.
Okay, it's fucking with his reaction thing. He thinks Gojo is fast. Hang on, no, it does. He thinks Gojo is fast, then realizes he's not fast. It's just something else is fucking with him. That's literally how that syntax goes. That's how that fucking sentence goes. Yeah, it's pretty simple. So I'm gonna continue now.
And it's not him saying that my reaction is slow and I have to figure out what the ability is. That's not No, it's literally just that Infinity fucking next him.
Because he thinks... No, it's not Infinity, because he saw Infinity first, right?
Valor, do you want me to post a scan?
What, the anime scan?
If it's blue, it just means
it's likely to do with blue,
really
right?
It's the same thing.
It's likely to do with blue, which does affect his speed. It's stated that blue is how he's moving so fast. He thinks it's blue. Okay, yeah, so no, it's not just that. The anime just says, no, it's not that, so... I'm not gonna sit here and argue about like anime and manga. So blue is what makes him fast, right? It makes him like it's a curse technique that fucks with. It makes him fast. And he says, "Oh no, he's fast." No, it's not just. It's that. It's not that. It's not quite that. It's something else that's fucking with him. He's not quite sure. Okay. And then with Maki, another example of it is Maki, right? Maki said Maki is getting blitzed by. Hang on, shut the fuck up. I'm talking still. Maki is getting blitzed and slapped by Naoya, and then as soon as she understands that his movements are divided into 24, and he makes 24 movements in a second, she's instantly able to catch him and tag him. Instantly, literally the next attack. As soon as she understands that, she's able to tag him just like that. But before that, and that was a faster Naoya. She was getting blitzed by a slower Naoya. So Naoya is blitzing her, and then as soon as she understands this concept, she's able to tag him. That just further proves my point blatantly.
So we can talk about the Maki and Naoya example. So obviously you agree, like Maki was swapping hands with Naoya before he started like stacking his speed, right?
I don't know about that. Let me go check.
What? Okay, I just dropped it.
I remember she's just getting blitzed, and then he gets faster, and then she reacts.
Here you go.
After understanding the concept. Let me look in chat.
Yeah, you can see her like totally blocking his hits.
Oh, she's not blocking them, she's deflecting them. There's a difference.
Yeah, same difference. What the fuck?
Deflecting them, like, diverts the force. She's not taking the force, she's just diverting it.
What? Whoa, same difference. Shut the fuck up.
But yeah,
I'm just
like,
saying she scales in speed. What the hell? Obviously stronger because she wants
like not
so like I don't
sure,
like that. Like she that literally just says like she's fast enough to like stop his attacks. Like that's oh my god. Like oh my god, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, this isn't a Naoya using his technique here. Yeah, it's whatever. Sure.
What? Yes, he was. Okay, here I'll show you.
He doesn't use.
It's literally clarified
or attack. I'm pretty sure.
It's literally clarified right here. Like next panel, like here's what happened.
No, post it.
Next panel, she gets turned to a picture, which I mean he was using his technique.
No, that's not how his technique works. When he touches you, right? Because he grabs her, and that is part of his technique, right? When he grabbed her, if he touches you with his hand, with his palm, then you have to abide by the rule, and if you break the rule, then you get frozen.
Which is only activated by his curse technique.
No. There's like two different parts of the same. It's two different parts of the technique.
It sounds like he was using his curse technique. It was using his curse technique then. Okay,
not
so
the
he's
speed
fast.
part. You can't prove he's using the speed part there.
What?
You can't. You just can't.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that these are both part of his curse technique. So if he's using this one, he's using his speed curse technique as well. So
prove that.
Because they're both
just because they're both part of the technique doesn't mean he has to be using both at the same time. Prove that.
Like yes, you have to. They're both the same curse technique.
Just saying have to doesn't prove your premise.
They're both the same curse technique. They're both the same curse technique. They're just say to both be the same curse technique.
It's part of the same curse technique. Prove they has to be using both at the same time.
Man, they are the same.
You're just going in circles.
He has to touch. You have to use the speed thing in order to fucking turn you into a frame. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Oh, bro. My god, you're just ratting.
So you can't believe your reaction.
It's like, I'm digging the stand. That's not what I said. Like, sounds like you're just like digging for some shit.
What do you mean digging for nothing? I'm just asking you to prove a premise you presented.
Okay, I'm gonna get the Naobito shit as well.
Jin, I made this argument like 30 minutes ago. Like, I don't know why you're like struggling so much with it.
I'm not struggling. You're just being retarded about this Naobito thing.
Like I said earlier, you can think it's retarded. Doesn't mean it is.
Okay, well, the Naobito skin is a blatant proof that he needs to use the fucking speed thing. I don't even need to, like, Naoya thing. Here you go. Fully stated that Naobito, when he uses his, obviously, like, Naobito and Naoya has, like, the same curse technique. It's projection,
it's
right?
Stated that they use
right
the
there,
same
bottom. Like, yeah, like, the projection thing, like, it's the same, yes.
Sorcery. I think it's in
yeah,
here.
so, you can see that.
Yeah, well,
you can see, that's fine, but
yeah, that's fine. What does that mean? Because, like, he's stacking there? Or can it just be, like, the first one? Why does that mean it's, like, a stacking Naoya?
Okay, I'll just get, like,
Sure, he can be using the technique. Doesn't mean he's stacking.
That's okay. Well, that's not the point I'm trying. The point I'm trying to get at is that like Maki just was swapping hands with Naoya while using his curse technique.
Okay.
He was also stacking.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Sure. I've already explained why like Yuji like struggled with it and Maki didn't. So.
Okay. You understand like okay. So you understand like Maki's Toji level, right?
Sure. Whatever.
Well, not in this fight because he's weaker than Toji in this fight.
You think she's weaker than Toji? What?
But in the Naoya fight, yes. Here is stated right here that because of her blood loss and her fighting other people. No, that's the wrong thing in fucking panel. I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. I'll just get it real quick from my scan server. Yeah, but it's literally just stated because of the blood loss and the people she fight. She was just like her fighting Naoya just would have been a bad move, right? So obviously, like, if that's the case, if the other two things didn't happen, her fighting Naoya just wouldn't have been a bad move.
What chapter is it?
That's how like inverse logic works.
What chapter is it?
Mm-hmm.
Have you got this?
This chapter is 155. 155.
155 doesn't exist.
What?
There's
I can literally get it in fucking. Oh, I meant to say 151. You're right. No, I meant to say 151.
Yeah.
Not 155.
You're not him.
Here.
I'll finish it showing. This isn't
here
going well.
Stated right here. It's stated right here that because of the blood that she's already lost.
Cast energy and to give the body a strong steel. However, Maki had lost blood during her fight with Ogi, followed by a battle with the hit squad. Maki can conclude that a drawn out fight with Naoya was bad, right?
Yeah. So I'm saying like.
So she wants to finish it now before it gets drawn out.
Okay, so I'm saying that
been
Maki
like really short so far. They've only exchanged like a couple blows.
I'm saying that Maki's concluding because of these things happened beforehand, she can't have a drawn out fight with Naoya.
Yeah, because the longer the fight goes on, she is gonna get weaker, right? That doesn't mean she's weaker right now.
Yeah. So I'm trying to say that this Maki is not Toji level. She's actually weaker.
Prove that. She will be weaker than Toji. Prove she's weaker at this moment than Toji.
No. Okay, I'm just gonna show you because obviously you agree in inverse logic, right?
What do you mean?
Inverse logic. Like, to some extent, inverse logic is the case. For example, if someone says we are not equal, it follows that that person's stronger or weaker, right?
Depends on the
inverse logic.
It depends on the
context. Well, the context here is Maki is saying because of these reasons, I can't have a drawn out fight, right? Yeah, so it would imply without these reasons she can, right? So
it implies that if the fight goes on too long, she'll get weaker, yeah, and then she'll lose.
Okay, and obviously that would just mean that she's not Toji level and she's still one shot someone who can piece up.
She won't be Toji level later if the fight gets drawn out. I don't think. I want you to prove the fight's drawn out.
No, not even with just this thing. Not even just this thing in inverse logic being the case.
You keep saying inverse logic, bro, but like when you explained it, that does nothing to like alleviate your argument or prove your argument.
I'm saying that if we know she gets weaker because of those reasons, that means she was already weakened before when the fight started, right?
No, not.
Yes.
She says because of this, right? If I have a drawn out fight with Naoya, it's just gonna be bad, right? Because she's gonna lose. That doesn't mean that right now she's weakened to any substantial degree.
No, it does because inverse logic would mean with these things
to this
not
inverse
existing.
Logic, and I don't know what you mean.
Yes. Okay, Valor. Think about this, right? P entails Q, right?
Sure.
P is like, okay, because of these reasons, the conclusion of me having to draw out a fight is just bad, right? But if P is just wrong, P is just like negated, that means that she can have a draw down fight now. Well,
I just said like this right now doesn't mean she's
I didn't mean to say wrong. I meant to say negated.
Because what a drawn out fight then means, right, is if this fight goes on for too long, he's gonna beat me because I've taken an injury and I'm bleeding. Okay. That doesn't mean at this time she's weakened. It just means she's going to be weakened if the fight is drawn out.
It would because Valor. It means with an injury she loses, without she wins. That implies some difference.
Later on she would lose, right?
I'm still just seeing that there's a difference
because in the argument, right? P only applies after a certain amount of time has passed.
No, it doesn't.
These reasons are only in effect after a certain amount of time has passed. That's why she said she didn't want a drawn out fight, and not that she's just weaker right now. That like if the fight gets drawn out, it's gonna be bad for me. But you have to prove the fight is drawn out at this moment.
That she says because of these reasons she can't have a drawn out fight, right? So without these reasons she can
fulfill the burden I've put on you.
I literally just used inverse logic to prove it.
Okay, the circular, like, we just talked about inverse logic, and then I gave you a reason as to why, like, you have to prove this at this time, and you're just like, inverse logic, bro. Inverse logic, bro.
If I say that my brother is not stronger than me, it implies that he's equal or weaker. That's inverse logic.
What? Are you cut out?
I said, if I say that my brother is not weaker than me, right? That would entail he's obviously stronger or equal, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the opposite. That's the inverse, right? So if we already have the stuff saying because of these reasons I can't have a drawn-out fight.
But that's not analogous to this situation because there's no time distinction given.
Okay. It sounds like without these reasons she can have a drawn-out fight. So she is just stronger.
Only after a certain amount of time has passed. Prove that the amount of time has passed.
Okay, I'm just going to say this as well. I think I've already proved this, and I'm also going to use this as supporting evidence.
Okay. I will reword it for you, because I don't think you're getting it right. So, the reason I'm saying is prove that the sufficient time has passed. Hang on, Jin. The reason I'm asking you to prove that a sufficient amount of time has passed is because the narrator says that a drawn-out fight would be bad. That means a not drawn-out fight isn't bad. Right? Let's use your logic, your inverse logic, right? That means a not drawn out fight isn't bad. So that means you have now prove that this is a drawn out fight, otherwise it's not bad.
Okay, let's black or whatever. Okay, here I'm just gonna get this for you before I move on.
Now you posted another scan. Now not Toji. What's this about?
Yeah, I posted that, but you asked me
who's fucking talking?
With the drawn thing, which is...
Are y'all debating or?
Yes.
Yes.
Please be quiet.
I'll be...
Mutsiyahaya. Tessera's bug. Who's Yaya? The fuck?
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Valor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just say this. I was going to bring up whatchamacallit. Now we're just literally saying that she's not Toji as supporting evidence to say that Toji is just stronger than this Maki.
So you know why he's saying that?
Because she's not stronger than him, yeah.
No, because he despises who Maki is, right? He absolutely fucking hates and detests Maki, right? He thinks, like, she literally just shouldn't be alive. He, like, bullied her as a kid. He fucking hates her guts, right? But he idolizes Toji. He thinks, like, when he first met Toji, he just started fangirling. He was just like, fuck, bro, this dude's so Chad, like, holy shit. He becomes, like, obsessed with Toji, and he wants to be like Toji. He says, I will the one who will finish standing the strongest. is me. He wants to be like this person. He idolizes this person. So it doesn't have to be referring to power. It can be referring to what she's representing. Because other people have commented, like, yeah, you're just like Toji. It's the same aura. Like, I'm getting that same feeling right there. All of these other people... Hang on. All these other people are comparing Maki and Toji as being similar. But Naoya, who idolizes Toji, refuses to, like, even, like, acknowledge that they're the same.
But here's the problem. Those people who acknowledge Maki to be similar to Toji was at the beginning before this statement came up, so she would have had more blood in her system, right? So she wouldn't have been losing blood, which obviously would just like obviously would lose too much blood. You die from blood loss. What? Yes, if you die from blood loss, what the fuck is wrong with you?
We already gave those arguments. We already talked about that. We're talking about your supporting evidence now. You're justifying your supporting evidence with your main argument and trying to then justify your main argument with your supporting evidence. Which one is it?
It is fine for her to be weaker. It is fine for her to be weaker. It is fine for her to be weaker because she's losing blood. She's lost stamina, of course. Okay, she's losing blood. She's losing stamina because she's literally been fighting. And also, people who considered her to be Toji level before don't consider her to be Toji level now. Just people being
Naoya never considered her Toji level. Wow, I don't say Toji level. Like he just says you're not Toji.
No. I'm saying people consider her. Okay, obviously when I say these people consider her to be Toji level, I'm just referring like Oogway and shit.
Yeah,
and the person who doesn't
he says like, oh, I've only sensed his presence once before, and he instantly thinks of Maki being exactly like Toji. Then other people are like, is that Toji? It's like all these different people think of her like being exactly like Toji, except the one person. Hang on. The one person who idolizes Toji and wants to be like Toji and who despises Maki refuses to admit that she's like Toji. Refuses to admit
because she couldn't have designed weaker because of blood loss and stamina exhaustion.
Narratively, his idol is like he's just looking at this corrupted version of his idol. This person he absolutely hates is trying to imitate the person he idolizes, and he's rejecting that. He refuses to even acknowledge that. That's why he's saying she's not like Toji, and everyone else is saying that she is.
It sounds like she has some cons that now believes she's not Toji level 4.
Like what?
Blood loss and stamina exhaustion, which she already used up earlier. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this, right?
I've given you the narrative reason as to why this is what he's referring to.
The narrator said she has these cons, right? Okay. The narrator says she has these cons.
Where does Naoya even acknowledge that? Where does Naoya even acknowledge that?
No, that's not. The point is, the narrator acknowledges that she has these cons.
Don't dodge that question.
No, I'm answering her question. People acknowledge that she had these cons. The person in question is the narrator says she has these cons.
Yeah, the narrator is not like a character. Where does Naoya or anyone else acknowledge that?
And the reason I'm saying the narrator is a character in this standpoint, because that would help Naoya's interpretation of why Maki is not Toji level.
That even has that interpretation?
Oh my god. Obviously, Naoya just could believe she's not Toji level, right? And obviously, Maki has these cons because it's stated.
Wait, where is he referring to power? Why is he referring to power?
Okay, because obviously you agree, like, Naoya believes that he's on, not even like, he thinks that he's one of the strongest along with Toji and Gojo, right?
He wants to stand at the strongest. He says the one who will finish standing the strongest is me. I don't think that means he's like...
Yeah, so he thinks he's one of the strongest.
He could be. It's whatever. I don't really care about Naoya. I don't care to talk about Naoya's scaling.
Right?
I feel like Toji, like Naoya, because he idolizes Toji so much, is probably like either overhyping him or like overvaluing him. Because he also thinks of young Gojo in that scene when he thinks of Toji, so it's like, okay, does he like think young Gojo is the strongest? Like, you know, what's going on?
Yeah, that could be young Gojo after he beat fucking Toji up, literally.
So he's probably just remembering like the past and shit, like. Like this whole, like the beginning of the chapter literally shows him as a kid like meeting Toji, and like he's just like, he just sees his eyes and he's like, you are not like him, like.
Okay, so you agree? It just means that Toji's either equal or above Maki.
Nigga, Kappa, you is not no real Kappa. Nigga, change your name. You pushing 40 right now with no family, my nigga.
Okay,
fucking Christ.
but Valor, obviously.
Huh? You cut
I
out,
think Jin got muted.
Yeah, no, he didn't get muted. He cut out. But all I'm saying is that Jin, your interpretation just doesn't fit within the narrative. Especially
Nigga, GhettoJin, my nigga. You is not no ghetto, nigga. You's a good kid, my nigga.
Okay. Let's get you out of here.
Good job.
No, I didn't mute you, Jin. You, like, muted yourself, I think.
No, it said I got disconnected, so I thought it was somebody disconnected.
No.
Okay, I was saying, like, obviously we agree that this means that, this either means that on the, like, the low end or high end, Maki's equal or below Toji, right?
No. I think she can be equal or above him.
I don't think she'd be above, because people who've seen her just think, like, she is just, like, Toji level.
Yeah, she can. She
I
thinks she's
keep
Toji level.
they
They
don't
never say
server.
she's weaker than Toji. She thinks she's like, oh, she's like Toji. She's like Toji, right? That doesn't mean she's weaker than.
No. Because someone who fought Toji or knows about him literally just says, "Oh, she gives."
Because like the reason they're all like saying, oh, this is like Toji, this aura is present, is because of like that physical restriction, the heavenly restriction. That's why like they're all getting this like aura and shit.
I like the server.
And like just from that alone, like she gets to like Toji level, and now he refuses to believe that. Like I unironically think Toji would lose to Naoya. I think he just die.
I got disconnected. I got disconnected again.
Oh.
What did you say?
No, I was just saying like Naoya just refuses to believe that like Maki's like anything like Toji. He just refuses to believe.
Yeah, and
not that he's
like,
correct in saying
like,
that. He just believes this because you can believe wrong things, right? Like people believe wrong things all the time.
Valor, I'm saying Valor.
It's just a case of Naoya believing something because he refuses to.
I'm saying that's fine because on the low end or high end, it just means they're equal or fucking
I think the safest assumption is that they're perfectly equal.
Yeah, okay, so I can agree that doesn't really change my scaling. One just upscales it more, that's fine. Obviously Maki can one shot Naoya. Like
Naoya has no durability, so
I mean he does, like he just hurts Choso and Yuji and like repeats durability. Like if anything, like Choso thinks he's stronger than Yuji and like
we know
Naoya
so he can just be moving faster than they're moving their cursed energy. Which is fine, because if they're not reacting to him, they're not moving their cursed energy to block it.
Choso fought Yuji and also saw him in action, and he thinks he's stronger than him.
Huh? Choso.
So I'm saying that Choso thinks he's stronger than Yuji from what he's seen.
From what Naoya?
What? No, I'm saying Choso thinks he's stronger than Yuji.
Why does he say that?
Choso thinks he's stronger than Yuji. Okay, I'll show you.
Because you know, like Choso's like after like he gets mind hacked, or like not even mind hacked. After he starts believing he's like Yuji's brother, he treats him like he starts being like super protective of him. And obviously people who are super protective have like this ideal that they're strong enough to protect the person they're protecting. That doesn't mean he's stronger than him. He has this idea that like he has to protect him.
Because it's like during a time frame when Toji, Naoya and fucking Choso are fighting, and he's like, why are you so tough? Like, why are you strong, right? And Toji's like, oh, because I'm the big brother, I have to be that strong, right? Yeah. He has to above his little brothers to protect him.
No,
so
he just says,
and obviously he
just asks, right? He just asks, why are you strong? He says, because I'm the big brother. That's why I'm strong. That doesn't mean he's stronger than his other brothers.
No, it does, because it implies that if he's the little brother, he's not strong.
Huh? No,
he's saying
you retard. That's not what that implies at all.
No. Yes, he does. He says because X reason I'm strong. So if he's not X, he's just not strong.
Okay, Jin. The reason, right, that I am strong because I'm the big brother, right? That doesn't mean that his little brothers can't be stronger than him. It just means I am the big brother, so I am strong.
No. It means that if Choso is not the big brother, he is not strong.
No, that's not what that means.
Yes, it does. Because
you're trying to assert that, like, oh, if Yuji's stronger than him, like, that he's just not the big brother, right? Is that like that's not what that has to lead to? Like, He can be strong because he's the big brother, and Yuji can still be stronger than him. That's fine. Because he's not saying he's the strongest brother. He's just saying he's strong because he's the big brother. I'm the oldest of 10 siblings.
He's saying he is strong because
ahead
he
of my little brother. That's why I'm strong, right?
Yeah, he has to walk ahead of them. He is strong because he is the big brother. So if he is not the big brother, okay. So if he isn't the big brother,
he has his duty, right? Okay. Do you know? So you know the context of the scene, right? You know why Choso is saying this?
Because he feels like as the big brother, he's stronger than his little brothers. Yeah.
No. So the reason Choso is saying that like he needs to walk ahead of his my little brothers and stuff is because he feels like he has to protect Yuji. That's why he let Yuji run away and he stayed behind to like fucking fight Yuta and fight Yuta and Naoya at the same time, right? He feels like he has this obligation to protect Yuji, right? And he's saying I have to walk ahead of them to protect them. And that's why I'm strong, because I have to be strong in order to protect my brothers. Right? That's his whole narrative after Yuji mind hacks him. Right? That's why he's like so content on like seeing his brothers again, and like that's why he forgives Yuji for like killing his brothers. Right? He's like, yeah, that's just a misunderstanding. Like I'm sure they would understand. Right? He feels he's obligated to feel like he has to protect them. That doesn't mean Yuji can't be stronger than him, right? It's just his narrative is that he feels he needs to be the super strong in order to protect them, not to say that they can't protect themselves. Because people could protect themselves, and you still want to protect them.
I never said that they couldn't protect themselves. Never said that. What I said is that Choso feels like he is only strong because of the fact that he's the big brother.
Why does he say that's only the reason he's strong?
Naoya asks him the question, and he responds to the question. That's why I'm strong.
Yeah, nonetheless, I must walk ahead of my little brothers. That's why I'm strong, right?
Okay.
He needs to protect his brothers. That does not mean that they cannot be as strong as him or stronger.
It can't follow. It can't follow if
yes, it can, because those aren't contradictory propositions.
No, it is. It is by definition.
No, it's not by definition. You retard.
No, it's saying that. No, Choso is saying that X follows because of Y. If X is contradicted,
X
Y
isn't
cannot
being
follow
contradicted,
as well.
though.
What?
You're failing to understand
so
the argument I'm giving.
No. Oh my God, Valor. X is being contradicted.
No, it's not. Where is the contradiction?
Okay, so if Choso is only saying I'm the big brother, so that's why I'm strong, and you're trying to say, oh, you can be the big brother and weak, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's a straw man. That's completely a straw man. I am saying he can be strong, but other people can be strong too, or stronger than him. He can still be strong,
but that's not
because strong is a relative term. He's not comparing himself to his brothers. He's saying he just has to walk ahead, and that is why he is strong, because he feels obligated to protect them. That doesn't mean they can't be strong themselves and protect themselves. It's just his motivation. He's talking about his motivation makes him strong. The reason he fights makes him strong. It's the same with Yuji. The reason Yuji fights makes him strong. The reason Gojo fights makes him strong. The reason Kenjaku fights makes him strong.
Why do you think
it's the same
big
thing.
And little? He's comparing himself to his brothers.
He's not comparing himself. Nowhere does he compare himself. He blatantly says he just has to walk ahead, protect them, and that is why he's strong. His motivation makes him strong. That does not mean that people like Yuji cannot be equally strong or stronger and protect themselves, and that does not contradict Choso's motivation, because Choso can still have this motivation and not get in the way of Yuji being stronger than him. And even if I did say that he was stronger, I'm not going to, because that's retarded. But even if Choso was, even if you were right in saying this, right, I could easily just say, okay, Choso's just blinded by his love for his brothers and thinks he's just above them, and that's why and he thinks he can protect them. But I'm not gonna say that, because I just won that point, because these two things don't contradict each other. Like, our arguments aren't contradictory. Or actually,
they are.
Excuse me, that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say was my argument and his statement aren't contradictory.
Valor, you agree X leads to Y, right? X says he's the big brother. Y is he strong?
We've already talked about this. We just talked about this. Why are you repeating yourself? We just talked about this. Why are you repeating yourself? We just talked about
this. Because you have to. You need to agree that because if X is not, you do. Because obviously
his statement and my argument aren't contradictory.
They are. Valor, he is literally saying.
He literally says about Yuji, like, you're so strong, you've added so much finesse, you're like a demon god, and he's like hyping up Yuji, like. And then he's just sitting there like, Yuji, you know, I'm just stronger. Look.
He's still
he never once says that he's stronger. He never once implies that he's stronger. He just gives his motivation and says his motivation is why he's strong.
He said, Choso asks him, not Choso, now asks him, why are you this strong? Why are you tough, right?
And he says, gives his motivation.
Because I am the little brother. Because I'm the big brother, I am this strong, so I have to walk ahead of my little ones to protect them. Right?
What you're trying to argue is that his motivation entails that he is stronger, but that's just not true, right? Because his motivation doesn't have to entail that he's stronger in order for it to work as a motivation. Because people could be stronger than him and him still have his motivation and his motivation still be fulfilled. Like, my argument just fits within the narrative. Yours doesn't.
No, because you can't protect.
Like, you literally can't protect someone solely from a scaling standpoint and refusing to acknowledge what the narrative is trying to imply and what the story is trying to get at with these statements. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You cut out really hard, Jin.
I'm saying, Valor, I'm saying that you cannot protect someone who is stronger than you by like over 100 times or some shit. Because if the enemy is strong to beat someone that's over 100 times than you can't. You can't.
Yes, you can. You can believe you can protect them. Do you know, like, you do realize, right, that someone can be weaker than someone and still like act and like a way to protect them, right? Because protecting someone, like, you can just be doing your best to protect them. You don't have to be stronger than someone in order to protect them. Like imagine this, right? Imagine this, right? Think of this, right? You know Gohan, right? You know when he jumped in front of, like, you know when he what's a better example? Like, fucking, let's say Vegeta, right?
Yeah, don't use that.
Let's say Vegeta's like weaker than Gohan. Yeah, and he jumps in front of like Cell's like fucking Kamehameha and he blocks that shit and he like protects Gohan from that shit, right? But Gohan's stronger than him. Is that an impossible situation, Jin? Can that never happen?
He didn't protect him. He didn't protect him. That he just fell.
He failed to protect him because he's weaker. That sounds like a really that sounds like flawed logic. I don't know why we would ever assert that, because actually we can just get with them. We can just get a definition of protect. That's fine. I don't have to argue about this with you. I don't know why we have to go into semantics over a simple thing. Like, it's just a motivation, bro. It's not that deep.
Keep safe from harm or injury.
Keep
right?
safe from harm and injury. Preserve or guarantee by means of formal aim to preserve, shield.
Okay. So if a person is like strong enough to beat your ass, you just can't stop your girlfriend from getting hurt. Like, he's gonna one shot you and
not at all. Because you can protect her. You can protect her from some of the damage, and you're still protecting, right? You can protect her from all the damage. You could get your ass beat, and she could be perfectly fine.
You can't stop it from hitting your girlfriend.
Yeah, that's powerful. All right. The perfect analogy here is Arrow protecting the SS, right? People in the SS are just stronger than Arrow, but he still protects them. Okay. So what now?
What? You cannot stop this killer from fucking attacking your girlfriend if you're not strong enough.
I'm weaker than Jason Voorhees. That doesn't mean I can't slow him down and save my girlfriend's life.
If you get one shot, you can't save him.
Yeah, I can. If I get stabbed in the chest, right, and I'm bleeding out and I'm dying, and I hold onto the killer, right, I don't let him go, and I'm just holding him. And then he pulls me off of it after like 2 seconds, and my girlfriend gets in a taxi and drives away. I've protected her. I fulfilled the definition, but I also lost that fight.
No, it sounds like that you got beat up, and then he just grabbed your girlfriend and fucking slammed her to the ground. That's what it sounds like.
You like hijacked the analogy, and then like it completely ignored what I was presenting with it. Like, if you're not gonna like actually address what I'm saying to you, Jim, we can just move on.
No,
I feel like I fulfilled any burden that I could possibly need to fulfill.
Valor, listen. Protect until you do it, not some fucking random taxi that's there and drives away. No, you have to do it.
I protected her from dying.
No, What you did, right? You got beat up, and then she found the car that
me getting beat up saved her life. That is protecting by definition.
No, the car did. The car drove her away.
Me getting beat up bought time. She gets protected by that. It's just easy as that.
The car. Okay.
It's not a complicated definition, Jin. Like I don't know why you're like so caught up in this.
It sounds like the car protector. It sounds like the car protector and not you.
like Jin, it's not that deep, bro. Like it's really just not.
It sounds like the car did.
Protecting someone just entails that you stop them from taking like injury, mental injury, whatever. Right? That's what protecting is. You can protect them mentally. You can protect them physically. Right? You do not have to be stronger than that person to do that. I could protect my dad. Right? He's like fucking built. Right? He's stronger than I am, but I could still protect him from a fucking gunshot. I could still do that, even though he's stronger than me. That doesn't matter.
Okay, so I'm just gonna send this to you. So the example they use for protection, right? For protection is this, right? It is directly doing it. There's no outside help.
The example.
No, what nigga? That's just what it says in the Google definition. They give the example of you directly stopping it and no outside third indirectional force like a car
from the attack. That's the example they give.
He tried. That means he failed to do it, so she also got attacked.
Trying doesn't inherently mean you
fail.
Trying doesn't mean you fail.
What? Okay.
Trying doesn't mean you fail.
Okay. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
It's not quite as definition. Trying is just attempting to do something. It's just the act of doing something. Failure and like success and succeeding are like the consequence of it, but they are not attached to it.
This statement just means he didn't. This statement just means he didn't do it. It's saying he tried to do it. That means he didn't do it.
No, that's not what that means.
Wow.
I can try to do something. Succeed.
I tried to
climb like ranked on like Brawlhalla and I succeed. Does that mean like just because I said I tried to do something, I failed inherently?
Yes.
I tried this new Jin. I tried this new burger. Does that mean I didn't eat the burger? I tried eating this new burger. I tried eating it. Does that mean I just failed at eating it? Damn, you went silent real quick there. What's wrong?
Okay, I'm just gonna say this, right? Hold on. My fucking Google's loading. Here. So, I'm just gonna say this. Here. I'm just gonna make sure I copied the right one. It means to keep safe. Nope, I copied the fucking shit again, the sentence again.
Jin, if I say I tried debating arrow, does that mean I failed inherently?
Okay, so the Google definition is you keeping them safe.
Wow, chat's writing.
You keeping them safe. You keeping them safe. And obviously, if the example is saying, "Oh, you tried to do that. You tried it," that means you just didn't do it. It'd be the same example of, "Oh, you tried to be icy. You didn't do that shit, dickhead."
No, that doesn't mean that.
That's what it'd be the same example of.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, because the by definition, it means to keep safe.
If I said, bro, if I said I tried debating Seth, does that mean he inherently lost the debate? Inherently, just so it's just that's the instant outcome.
Under this definition with protection.
Like you're trying to brute force past my argument, failing to realize if you don't address me, you will lose to Burn Virginia.
Keep away from like harm or injury, and this person tried to do that, but he just didn't do it. He tried to protect her from the attack.
We keep saying he didn't. Prove why it inherently means that trying means failure.
He didn't.
Because I don't recall ever being taught that trying means failure. In fact, you tried to succeed, not to fail. Because you physically can't succeed without trying first. Look, you can't fail without trying first, right? It's just the middle part between the two, between start and end.
Okay. All I'm gonna say, by definition, protection means to keep safe from harm or injury.
You're repeating yourself.
The example they give is to trying to keep someone from getting hurt. And like I said, if you are not strong enough, or at least equal to the person, right, that's attacking you, you will just get like beat the fuck up. No. You're not going to protect this person, and you would just get your ass beat. Like they would just get past you and just grab the person.
Not at all.
Yes.
No, I can be weaker than someone and still succeed in protecting someone, Jin. It's not that complicated.
Okay, so how much weaker? Because you have to be to this like some similar
It
extent.
doesn't matter.
Because if you're not to some of those, yes.
But also by asking that question, you agree to my line of logic.
I'm only okay. I'll agree to this, right? I'm only agreeing if you agree that Choso and Yuji are relative. If they're not relative, then I just don't agree.
I think Yuji is stronger. They can be relative. I don't think it impacts my scaling at all.
Okay, so Toji can one shot Naoya.
I'll see where your argument goes, and then I'll decide whether he's stronger or relative.
Toji, who's equal to Maki, can one shot Naoya, and Naoya think with his maximum speed, he can one shot someone he can hurt.
Yeah,
and he can obviously hurt fucking.
Like he realized that like Choso's incredibly durable, so he brought a knife to like pierce through him.
That's not the point. Naoya also said during his fight with Choso, he wasn't using his maximum speed. So it sounds like that. The reason why he pulled up the knife because he didn't use his maximum speed.
Hang on, I'll like go look at that chapter again. What is it like? 41.
I'll even post.
I kind of like understand. Your mic's like so fucking bad. It's really bad.
Okay.
I'm the oldest sibling. Blah, 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 blah. He adjusted to me. Blah 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 blah. You're a pain in the ass. I thought best to use a weapon. You've got blood manipulation, so stopping the bleeding is your forte, but how long can you last while paying attention to that? You're well prepared. Honestly, it isn't cool for a sorcerer to walk around with a weapon, and so keep it secret. This is where weapons are dependent on them to win. There are a lot of sorcerers who can carry them around. The way my older brothers show them off is pathetic. I'm amazed how they complain about Toji. Yeah, even here he's idolizing Toji, like he's like, how fucking dare they complain about Toji? Like further ties into my earlier point.
Okay.
There's no point. Okay, so obviously were inferior to their little brothers.
You agree he wasn't using his maximum speed against Choso, right?
Like, so now you're like saying, right, it's like there's no point to big brothers who are inferior to their little brothers. They should just hang themselves and fucking die, right? Like, now it's just like that shit. If you're weaker than your little brother, you fucking suck. And then Choso's like, but maybe it's because of them that you are who you are, right? And he's like, did you just say something? And he's like, whether they're superior or inferior, older brothers are role models for their younger brother. If the older brother takes the wrong path, the younger brother can avoid it. If I take the right path, my little brothers can follow behind me. Nonetheless, I must walk ahead of my little brothers. That's why I'm strong. So you've read it, right, and you've left out a scan. So the context of this entire thing is here talking about, regardless of if I'm stronger or weaker, I have to take the right path for my brothers. I have to walk in front of them, so if I take the wrong path, they can take the right one. So I must walk ahead of my brothers. That's why I'm strong.
I don't see how that changes anything outside.
That changes everything. Because Choso himself is like, it doesn't matter if I'm weaker or I'm stronger. My job is to take the right path or take the wrong one, so my brothers know which one to take. And in order for me to do that, I have to walk in front of them. That's why I'm strong.
Yeah, I just don't see that anything I said. Like,
okay, we can move on then if you don't think that is true what you said.
You
I think it clearly does, blatantly. But you can think that.
No, because you obviously agree at this point in time, like, now would know that, like, both, like, Choso and Yuji are, like, older brothers and little brothers, because he, like, literally brings it up.
Huh? No, because you don't have to be brothers with someone to call them a brother.
No. I'm saying that Naoya would know that, because Choso brought that to his attention.
Choso calls him his brother, but that doesn't mean, like, you know, fucking Todo does that shit too. Like,
and Naoya would know.
My brother.
Like,
you think like fucking Yuji and Todo are related now, like.
What? I'm saying that Naoya has the information that he thinks they're brothers, right? And obviously Choso just said, I'm the bigger.
He calls himself Big Brother.
He never says that Yuji should, that Choso should hang himself. He never says that. He never says, oh, go hang yourself, bitch. He never says that. So I don't think that this
he says, like, he just says, like, he's giving an opinion on, like, brotherhood and shit. That's what he's talking, and that's the whole context of the conversation. Yeah. And then Choso cuts in and he says, it doesn't matter whether they're stronger than me or weaker than me. All that matters is that I walk ahead of them, and that is why I'm strong.
Yeah, but I'm saying that Choso never got told. I'm saying that Choso never got told by Naoya that hanged himself, despite already knowing that they were brothers and shit. He does.
He explained his motivation. Like he explained, like I think your older brothers who are weaker than their fucking younger brothers are just fucking vermin that should die, right? You should go kill yourself. He doesn't need to say that because he's already giving. Like he's letting. Hang on, Jin. He doesn't need to say that because he's already said what he thinks about the situation. So it's left to Choso to determine whether he fits in that criteria or not. And he says it doesn't matter if I'm weaker or stronger. All that matters is that I'll walk ahead of them.
It sounds like under Naoya's perspective, he doesn't think that Choso is weaker than Yuji because he doesn't.
That's not at all what he says. Where are you getting that interpretation from? At what point does Naoya ever imply that?
Naoya says, yet he never tells Choso to hang himself, despite already having the knowledge that he's older brother. Okay, I'm saying that Naoya has the belief that older brothers should hang themselves if they are weaker than their little brothers.
Yes.
He already knows that Choso is the older brother, yet he doesn't tell him to hang himself.
Jin, why can't him saying that to begin with be the implication that Choso should hang himself? What do you have to explicitly say in order for it to be implied?
That implication can just they can just be conversion conversation and not him. That's not him.
Why can't him just saying that's what he thinks be the implication that's what Choso should do?
No, because he's not saying, "Oh, you should hang yourself." That's not what he's saying. He
doesn't need to. That's not what I'm arguing.
Yes, he does.
That's not what I'm arguing. You're misinterpreting my argument. You're misinterpreting my argument. You're misinterpreting my argument. I'm saying, why can't the act? Why can't? Hang on, Jin. You're not understanding. You're not understanding. I'm saying, why can't the act of him explaining that your older brothers being weaker than their younger brothers should kill themselves be his way of implicitly telling Choso to kill himself?
Are you saying it's an implication? Yes or no? Are you saying it's an implication?
You didn't let me finish, so I didn't listen to a word you said.
I do not care if you know what I said.
Because I was finishing my argument, you didn't understand it. So
I'm asking you, do you think it's implication? Yes or no? Because I heard you say that.
His statement being the implication? I think it could be an implication. Yeah.
Okay, do you think it is?
I just don't think he has to explicitly say it for like Choso to understand that.
I think he does. Or you need some more evidence to prove that this is a blatant implication.
Why do you have to explicitly tell? Why can't you leave it to implication? Why do you have to?
Because this implication in a vacuum doesn't lead to the conclusion that he's talking about Choso. That's why.
Why doesn't it? Well, you put it in a vacuum. I don't want to accept that in a vacuum. I want to accept it in context.
No, you have to.
I don't. I have to accept it in context.
You have to. No, because look, here's the only concept that matters, right? Choso says that it doesn't matter if I'm weak or older than my little brothers, I still have to walk in front of them, right? And then now we're saying, well, here's what I think, right?
Yeah.
That means that the previous thing doesn't matter.
No, now you said he's fast. Now you said he's belief fast.
No, I don't think Naoya said his first.
Yeah, now you gave his beliefs first.
Okay, well, Choso definitely said that.
Honestly, isn't it cool? Hang on,
right?
Here it is. The way my older brothers show them is often pathetic. I'm amazed how they complain about Toji. So you hate your brothers. That's right. There's no point to big brothers who are inferior to their little brothers. They should hang themselves and die. But maybe, and then Choso says, but maybe it's because of them that you are who you are now. He says, huh? And then Choso says, no, now he says, did you just say something nauseating? How absurd. And then Choso says, whether they're superior or inferior, older brothers are role models for their younger brothers. If the older brother takes the wrong path, the younger brothers can avoid it. And if I take the right path, my little brothers can follow behind. What if you're strong because your older brothers are weak? You asked why I'm tough. I'll tell you. It's because I didn't have someone to guide me, so I kept making mistakes. Oh my god. Here's fuck. Who fucking did that?
I'm gonna my boy Dirty Chicken Figure and GhettoJin. You still not ghetto, my nigga.
There we go. Shit's so annoying.
He's a thing.
But
okay.
Yeah, he says like.
Okay, so I don't think Choso's
like
words
Choso
get
verbatim.
any more
Hang on. Choso himself says, "What if you're strong because your older brothers are weak?" Like he's literally saying that. Like, what if that could just be applied to Yuji? What if Yuji is strong because Choso is weak? Like he's literally asking Naoya this question. What if you Naoya are strong because your older brothers are weak? You asked why I'm tough, I'll tell you. It's because I didn't have someone to guide me, so I kept making mistakes. Nonetheless, I must walk ahead of my little brothers, and that's why I'm strong. That's his narrative, that's his fucking motivation.
I do not think that what Choso said changed Naoya's opinion. So that's why I'm going to. It does because
it doesn't need to change his opinion. That has no bearing on the argument. That has no bearing on the argument.
If it doesn't change his opinion, or if it doesn't change his opinion, or give more credence to his opinion, it just wouldn't be. It wouldn't matter.
No, it doesn't need to change his opinion because he's already stated it. Whether he changes it after or not is irrelevant because he doesn't talk about it again.
That's like saying there's a math equation that says 2 + 2 = 4, right? And then like some nigga brings out a random math equation that doesn't help or add context.
I'm gonna need you, right? For me to explain this, I'm gonna need you to stop talking, and I'm gonna need you to let me explain it in full. Because if you interrupt me, you're not gonna understand what I'm about to tell you. Okay? So, Naoya has given his opinion on what he thinks about brothers and younger brothers. Choso gives his opinion about what he thinks about younger brothers and older brothers, right? Then they stop talking about brotherhood. They could just completely stop. Whether Naoya changed his opinion or not is irrelevant because we do not know if he changed his opinion or not. We can't say he kept it. We can't say he changed it, right? He probably didn't change it because Naoya's just a prick, right? He doesn't give a fuck about what anyone tells him.
He still thinks he's the strongest, obviously.
Obviously, like why are you cutting it? Why are you cutting into me? Why are you cutting into me?
No, I'm trying to give more context to your thing because I'm trying to say he didn't change his opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, even whether he changes opinion or not, it doesn't matter. It has no bearing on the argument because what we're focusing on is what Choso thinks, not what Naoya thinks. Naoya's opinion is irrelevant to the argument. All we care about is what Choso thinks, and I've already explained.
But I brought up Naoya as confirmation that Choso
who the fuck is talking?
Because Naoya doesn't think he should hang himself. That's why I brought up Naoya.
Okay. No, so you're talking. I know. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. Okay, so the reason you're wrong, right, is because, like I said earlier, the very fact that Naoya brings it up can be the inadvertent way of telling Choso to do that, right? Because by saying it depends on tonal delivery, and it depends on a few things, but just the very fact that he brings it up can be the implication, especially when tone is shifted, Like, if he looks at Choso, right, like he is, and he says, I think little brothers who are, inferior to the older brothers should fucking die, right? And he looks at Choso, or, he shifts his gaze to Choso or something, or he shifts his gaze to someone, and he starts looking at them while he says that. There's obviously an implication that he's saying something towards them. There's, it's just how it depends on tonal delivery, and, I feel like body language, signals, right?
Okay. So,
here, this statement can be that implication. You agree
that it doesn't have to be, right? You agree it doesn't have to be? He can just brought it up just for them in conversation. He's not directed at Choso at all.
It can be either or, but if it's either or, then you just lose. You just lose your argument. Because you're trying to assert that it is one thing, and then by saying that it can be either or, you agree that you could be wrong, and now you can no longer use this for your argument to hold weight.
No, not really, because I'm just gonna bring this up as well, right?
Could be, could not be.
I'm just gonna bring this up as well. You agree that Yuji literally says that he doesn't his Christianity doesn't implement much.
Huh? Yuji? When does Yuji say that?
Yeah. And when Yuta comes, right, and he brings up Yuta has a lot of Christianity, right? He makes up for his weak body, and he used a lot of Christianity to make up for it. That's what he says.
Yeah. What's up?
Well, okay. And then Yuji says, "I'm the perfect opposite."
We're moving on now. I think.
Okay, Yuji says he's the opposite, right? Of Yuta, right?
Yeah, because he uses cast manipulation instead of just raw cast energy. Yuji's cast manipulation is fucking insane. He has the best manipulation in the verse.
No, he did. No, Yuji's saying that he just has a strong body instead of a weak one, and his curse energy doesn't amp him that much. That's what Yuji's saying.
I don't think you can prove that. That his cursed energy doesn't amp him that much. Because it depends what he's saying on the opposite too.
Yuji saying,
he could be hang on, Jin. He could be referring to the entire sentence, or he could be referring to a specific
thing. And then Yuji's I'm the perfect opposite. So that means, he has a strong body and weak cursed energy. No. So that means the cursed energy is not that big of an amp.
Jin, he can either be referring to a specific thing that Yuta said, or to everything. It's kind of hard to tell which one he's talking about.
Nah, I'll show you.
It's likely what he means is that he's just really good at cast manip, while Yuta just has so much cast energy that he doesn't need to worry about it, right? Because we know that like everyone hypes up Yuji for how good he is at like controlling his cursed energy. Choso does it, and we have blatant feats of Yuji actually doing it. Like he mastered Divergent Fist, which everyone is like, your energy control is like fucking confusing. Like I do not understand. Like it's confusing to the point where people just confuse him for an elite sorcerer because he's cursed and he just moves that regularly, and he mastered that. He perfected his Divergent Fist, which like mind hacks everyone who looked at it.
There you go. There you go. He literally just says, it's like the context is Yuta has a weak body, but he has a massive amounts of curse energy that he makes up for by like infusing it with his body to make up for that difference. And then Yuji's like, I'm the complete opposite.
He compensates for his lack of power with cursed energy reinforcement. Everyone does it, but when he does it, you're the exact opposite of me. Okay? So what he's talking about is that
coming for you, Skeeter.
He's talking about reinforcement. Like Yuji's body is just that strong that he doesn't reinforce. But that doesn't mean he's not using insane cursed energy control, which is what I care about.
No. That means that the curse energy that he uses is not like a big amp. Because what's happening with Yuta?
He doesn't have a lot of curse energy to begin with, so.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that curse energy that he uses to amp himself is not that big of an amp.
Because he doesn't have a lot. I mean, whatever, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay, so.
Because his curse control makes him stronger anyway. Like the better you control your curse energy, the stronger you get.
Okay, so then.
That's why Yuji's so strong.
He's okay. Okay, so it sounds like that Yuji is not getting much of an amp from his curse energy.
He doesn't need
to
be using his curse energy, yeah.
It'd be like this, right?
Like, we don't even know like the exact volume of Yuji's curse energy. Sometimes he has tons, and sometimes he has very little. It doesn't matter though, because regardless, like his like cursed energy control is just so fucking good.
It'd be like that.
What about it?
You agree? Be like that?
Yuji with CE greater than Yuji without? I mean, Yuji...
Like, greater, but like...
Yuji's always had CE,
like a high
so,
like,
what do you fucking mean? Like, I don't really necessarily agree to that, because he's mainly strong through his manipulation of CE, not his quantity. Like, he could lose like a ton of CE and be not that much weaker, because he just has like such great control.
What I mean by CE, I'm talking about like the one he uses to like reinforce his body with, like.
Yeah, no, I just told you why it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I think it does, like. Because obviously, higher amounts of like not even higher, like, if you yourself
I agree, more curse energy makes you stronger. I'm just saying it doesn't matter in Yuji's case because he has just such great manipulation of it, of what he does have.
But okay, I'm saying that I think it'd be like a high and low end thing between the two Yujis. One without and one with would be high and low end. They're relative, but one's higher end.
I don't know. I wouldn't really comment on it because we don't really know how much CE he actually has. Like, we don't know what the value is because curse energy is kind of like a power, but has a set number it starts at 2.
We don't need to know that. We don't need to know that. It's already stated by Yuji himself. We don't need to know that. It's already stated by Yuji himself.
What, that he doesn't have a lot of cursed energy?
Yeah, he just doesn't have. He just doesn't amp himself that much because he doesn't have a lot of cursed energy.
I mean, he doesn't. He never really needs to. Like to give you an example of how good his fucking cursed energy control is, he's never once like tried to like enforce his cursed energy into a weapon, and then the first time he tries it against Yuta, like one of the fucking strongest people in the verses, he barely puts any into his weapon, and he blocks Yuta's sword, which is a curse tool. And like Yuta's like, bro, that shit's fucking crazy. Like even Yuta's impressed.
Impressed by my penis.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm just gonna say like Yuji with curse energy is like relative, he's relative, but like a higher extent to himself without.
What does this change? What's the point of talking about this?
Okay, I'm saying that like Naoya without like building his speed up, and we know like Naoya can one-shot people at maximum speed that he who can take hits like
I mean,
from his like normal speed.
when he's at his maximum speed, he has his max because like mass is like fucking power. No, power is mass speed. He says, and then he says he's gonna go at his fastest speed, so he's using his maximum power. So
yeah, and he thinks he can like one shot the person who was like getting hurt by his like normal punch.
Now he thinks he can one shot everyone. I don't know how trustworthy now he really is. Except Yuda. He is like now he is like weird. He'll think he'll like one shot everyone except like the absolute high tiers. And then he'll just lose to him.
I don't
like he thinks he can one shot Choso.
I just think he like I just think he no. I just think he can gauge abilities. Like, that's what
gauge
I think.
abilities. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's very good at it. Like, sure he can do it. He's not very good at it.
I think he is.
He vastly underestimated Choso. He even says like when he's fighting Maki, like fuck, I really fucked up back then, didn't I? Like he just vastly underestimates people.
I don't think he underestimated Choso.
He stated he did.
I think he did. Let me see.
In the Maki fight, like I wouldn't make that mistake again.
If it's referring to that's where, but that, when you know when that's stated, that's saying like him like not using his maximum speed, right?
No, I don't think that's what. That's
and at that point in time, I mean, yes, because in that same panel, it goes on to how he can like repeatedly stack his like fucking his curse technical top each other to get like
sure. Yeah, the narrator.
Yeah, but I'm saying like,
he just says he won't make.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm arguing from a context of the whole page.
No, he just says I won't stop now. I won't screw up like last time. He never says like he won't make that mistake.
Yeah,
I miss some.
Yeah, so like him saying I won't stop. I'm saying that's in reference to him just stacking his curse and getting faster.
No, because in the Choso fight, he kept like he was more so like twinning with like Choso. And he was just like underestimating.
Yeah, and he wasn't going.
It's pretty blatant. He keeps stopping and then starting again, and he's not really like.
Yeah, and he wasn't going. He wasn't going his full speed.
He's not taking Choso seriously. That's like the context. He's just not taking Coach.
Yeah, he wasn't going his full speed. He literally just wasn't going his full speed.
What's the relevance?
He says like in the beginning of the fight.
What's the relevance?
The relevance, right? Is that if I'm saying that if he says like I'm messaging him and that's in reference to like FRSS coming out, I don't think that's relevant because he didn't even know about that. Until like, I think that's him just being caught off guard.
What does this change?
I think that's him being caught off guard more than.
What does this change?
I'm saying that I think that's him being caught off guard more than him like just like
What does that change?
Underestimating person. Okay, I'm saying that that's not him underestimating him. That's him being caught off guard.
Affect your scaling? What does it change?
Okay, that means that his perception of abilities isn't wrong. Like,
and what
does that change? Because he just didn't know about that. That just means that he didn't. Okay, so it's like this, right? If he has good perception, then what I just argued about he can one shot people at maximum speed that don't get one shot by his normal punches is fine.
Okay, so at maximum speed, he thinks he can one shot Maki. So what?
Okay,
he can one shot Toji. Just means Toji is shit durability.
Okay, now we're
You cut out again. You cut out for me.
Piecing up Yuji.
You cut out for me.
Now without his maximum speed was
you cut out for me.
Wow.
I didn't hear what you said.
I'm not gonna. I don't even care. There's a recording.
What?
So.
My recording cut out? Like, not why? I did my recording.
Yeah,
you cut out and you're not on the recording.
No,
Jen, I'm recording
you
it.
cut out.
I'm recording.
Jen, you cut out. But you cut out for me too, though. So
yeah. I'm just saying I'm recording. That's why I don't care. I'm recording. So
I'm gonna respond to an argument if I didn't hear it. That's rat. You're a rat. What?
Oh my god! Hold up. I'm gonna leave the VC. I'm gonna come back in and you just brag me.
Oh, Jin really tried ratting on me. It's like I
didn't think about that. Look. No. I just didn't think about that. I wasn't thinking about that. I actually just wasn't thinking about you. Not it. I forgot like a brain fart. I was like, wait, what? You can't respond. Hold up. We fucking.
Shit, I clicked the wrong thing.
And on the third year, this debate might win. Might end.
I just want to finish.
Okay. Am I cutting out now? I'm like, or am I good? I'm probably cutting out. Probably still cutting out. Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. What the fuck happened to Valor?
I'm still here.
Valor, okay, Valor, I can't hear you for some reason. So I think like
can you not hear me?
Now
I was like my head wasn't close to my mic.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying that like Naoya without using his maximum speed can piece up Yuji and Choso.
What does he damage Yuji?
And then... Okay.
He hits him in his jaw, but I don't know if that damaged him. Like, fuck, bro. I don't even know if Yuji cared. Like, he didn't seem to care. Let me go look at that seed again. Yeah, he hits him in his jaw, and then Yuji wipes his nose.
Yeah, then that implies like it bruised him a bit because he had to wipe his nose.
What if it just knocked the snot out of his nose? What then? What do you do? What are you saying?
Not only that.
What if it knocked the snot out of his nose?
Wait, I'm also bringing this up. He also thinks he can break their legs. We brought that up earlier in the debate.
Okay, he thinks he can break their legs, right? But this is before we agree that he has like good perception because he corrected his perception after this. So he just has a flawed perception here.
What?
Like we talked about.
Wait, you think he has a flawed perception in this scene? Why does he have a flawed perception in this scene?
We agreed that he corrects his perception after losing.
No, that's not what I agreed to. No. What I was arguing was that he just doesn't have a wrong perception and has always been right. That's why I attacked that.
He's always been right.
Just to, like,
then why did he underestimate
about what he can do? Okay. I'm saying that that's underestimating in the sense that he didn't know about the form.
He was fighting it for like ages. the thing he references is when he enters that form, he fights him, and he's like, "I won't make that same mistake. I won't stop now." Like that's what he's referencing when he says he made that mistake. He underestimated them. Is throwing red scale like him not knowing about it is irrelevant because he's underestimating that.
I do think him not knowing about it is relevant because if he doesn't know about certain techniques or abilities, he can't like counter properly to like the best extent.
Okay, Jim, he's underestimating that form. So whether he knows about it beforehand or not is irrelevant.
No, because he literally he literally says.
Because like through the entire fight, he's like mocking Choso all the way up until he actually loses.
Okay. He literally says in the fight with Choso that he always like thinks that like someone's going to counterattack, so he's cautious, right?
Sorry, I was muting someone. What did you say?
I said that he literally says in the fight with Choso that he's always cautious to because he thinks someone can counter at any point. So I'm saying him not knowing about a certain thing, like what like its functions, like it can jump, it makes him slower if it tags you. That does help just him get caught off guard, which would hurt and it would be like, oh, I missed this, I didn't know this could happen.
Okay,
right?
and
I think that
he's underestimating that form. It's still an underestimation. Getting caught off guard because he underestimated him is underestimating.
No, but I already brought up how how he always thinks a counterattack is going to happen, right?
Yeah, he always expects a counter.
I'm saying that in this scene, he just didn't think at that fucking pool of blood which slowed him down, so he was caught off guard when it hit him.
Yeah, because
so I think that's more.
Him.
I think that's more of him gauging Choso's abilities and not knowing it slowed him down. That's what I think is more a reference to. I think he knows how strong someone is. He just didn't know that slowed him down. So now he's like, okay, I learned from that mistake. I'm just gonna fucking go full speed now.
So I get what you're saying. You're trying to like interpret that as he's referencing an instance. Well, I'm referencing the entire thing. So I think the reason I think he's referencing the entire thing is because he's speaking in totality, and when he references that scene, obviously they can't show the entire fight for that one reference, right? So they have to pick a specific scene, and the scene where he does that and when he enters the flying red scale is very indicative of what he means when he says like, I won't make that same mistake, I won't stop now. Because that's why he did lose to Choso. He kept stopping and trying to mock Choso. He kept just like not just finishing the fight, even in flying red scale when he could have. And that's why he lost that fight.
I think that due to like the nature of the whole panel is trying to show, they're trying to show that this nigga can stack his curse second to get exchange speed to get faster than he was last time, and this nigga thinks he can like one shot people that gets hurt by his normal punches. I think it's more. I think we can just safely say
No. I don't care about what y'all think. Y'all hurry the fuck up.
Bro, Jin just keeps talking. Like I just want to move on.
Okay, well, okay. I'll just say that. Okay. So we can just leave this up to the judge. Yeah. So since Toji's equal to Maki can one shot fucking not Maki and Toji can like one shot Naoya can like get one shot fucking at full speed. Naoya can like one shot Choso and Yuji. And then like regular him, he can like hurt them a bit.
He doesn't one shot Yuji at all. He hits Yuji and Yuji just like fucking wipes his nose.
I'm saying at full speed he can. At full speed he can.
Where does he say at full speed he can one shot Yuji?
Okay.
Oh wait, it doesn't matter because we just argued that like that Naoya has bad perception, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Even if he could, like Yuji just gets stronger, so it doesn't matter. That doesn't scale. Doesn't scale to that.
How he gets stronger?
Anyway. After every fight, he gets stronger.
Can you give me evidence for this?
It's stated by Todo and by Maki that like both fighting like makes you stronger and that painful experiences make you stronger. And Yuji had like a fucking mental breakdown after the Yuta fight.
Stronger in what sense? Stronger in what sense?
What do you mean stronger in what sense? It's clearly a fighting context or a sorcerer.
Stronger mentally, stronger physically, like.
Let me get like the context is just talking about fighting. They like after the Hanami fight, he's like, yeah, like whether we win or lose, like we go stronger and can face like stronger opponents or something. I don't know.
Okay, I'll just say this right. I'll don't get it. I'll just say this right. You agree, right, that even if someone does get stronger, obviously there are different levels of strength to how much you get stronger by, right? And obviously that would imply to everybody in the verse because he's making a general statement.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, for your argument to work, you would need to prove at least by like a bare minimum, like at best in my favor, you would need to prove that this stops him in a one shot difference.
It stops him in a one shot difference.
Yeah, like for example, like let's say
Yuji prove that, right? Because like I said, Yuji had a mental breakdown after, and that also amped him. So I have two levels of like him getting stronger. Now your burden is your burden to prove that he still gets one shot.
No.
Because you're making the claim that he one shots.
No.
I'm saying it doesn't scale because he's stronger.
Valor, you brought up him getting stronger as a contradiction, right? I'm asking you to scale your character and prove how much stronger he got. Because I don't scale.
It's reversing the burden of proof, right? Because if he gets stronger, he's basically treated as a new character. Now you have to prove why he scales to that new character.
You brought it up.
Okay. Did you not listen to what I just said?
You brought it up. So if I ask
if your counter is to quantify, otherwise it doesn't matter. That's ignoring the context of the amps, right? Because obviously, if it's an insignificant amp, right, Todo wouldn't bring it up because it doesn't fucking matter. So it obviously has some bearing. It has a relevant bearing.
That he can bring it up.
So Yuji got relevantly stronger twice.
So you can just think that being a little bit stronger helps you win a fight, or like just makes you improve, which isn't
prove that. Prove that's what he
obviously
thinks.
By my interpretation.
Prove that's what he thinks. It's your interpretation. I don't give a fuck. Prove that. Prove the interpretation.
Nigga, the same logic can be reversed to you. Retard.
Prove the interpretation.
Okay, but
I've given you a reason as to why my interpretation works.
I've also given you a reason.
No, you haven't.
I've also given
me one for yours. You just said it could be this. That doesn't
justify
the proposition. You getting a little bit
stronger. Valor, you getting a little bit stronger is also you getting stronger, so the statement is not contradicted.
And statements like that have to be within like context, within like, because characters don't just say, "Oh damn, he got stronger," and like he's only got like 0.5% stronger. That doesn't make contextual sense. Obviously, when they say these things, it's relevantly stronger. It is stronger to the point where they think it is relevant to say that they are stronger. If they only got 0.1% stronger, that isn't relevant to what they are doing.
Why is it not relevant?
If it is relevantly stronger, if it's noticeably stronger, if you can sit there and go, yeah, he got stronger from this point, like he can lift fucking 10 pounds now when he couldn't lift 1 pound before, that is relevantly stronger. Okay,
Valor.
He is saying you get relevantly stronger.
Let's say someone's cap is 1 pound, right? And then someone lifts, that same person later on lifts 1.1. Obviously, that's a noticeable difference, right? Even though it's a very small difference.
Because it's not within contextual sense, right?
Okay.
Because it doesn't make contextual sense.
By your logic, right? This person who can lift 1 pound can't lift 1.1, but for some reason, when he goes on to lift 1.1,
you're failing to understand that things have to be within context or within narrative. Like it has to make a narrative sense, right?
Okay.
Like,
So
if it does not, if a character says,
narrative.
if a character says, right, we trained to get stronger, that means that training within the narrative is the way that they are able to take on stronger and stronger opponents until like they reach Gojo level, right? Like, if it's only these 0.1 differences, they're probably never gonna reach him, because if he's moving at 0.1 too, they're moving at 0.1, they're probably never gonna reach that fucking level. But if it's if it's relevantly, narratively consistent, like they mean by a set amount or by a variably noticeable amount, then yeah, it would be relevant to the plot when they say, yeah, fighting people makes you stronger. Like in Dragon Ball, when they say, oh, like, you know, when we Saiyans fight, we go stronger, and then they like fight one dude, and suddenly they jump like 3 characters up or something, right? It's like that's what generally what they mean when they say fighting makes you stronger. It's like it's a way for the narrative to drive these characters forward to higher and higher threats. If it's by like 0.1, that narrative is never going to be achieved.
Okay, that's what you think. The narrative can still be achieved from these type of differences. I think I've already showed. Also that someone who is like just a 0.1% difference. So, there you go.
Okay.
I think I've already shown that with the lip.
I think I've proven what I needed to say. So if I'm pretty sure that like dismantles your scaling, so I can like give the rest of my scaling because I never got to finish it. So Yuji, if Yuji's relative to like Yuta, and he thinks that Yuta can beat Sukuna, and obviously Gojo thinks that Sukuna would give him a difficult time. That Gojo is stronger than young Gojo, and young Gojo fucking killed Toji, so I'll just instantly scale Yuji above him. Because Gojo was like finessing him fucking badly, like he was dodging his shit. Like I could take that route. That's like the weaker side because I'm like being generous. Or I could go like the Ghetto route, and I could say Yuji relative to Yuta, who could hurt Volume 0 Ghetto, and that Ghetto's stronger than Hidden Inventory Ghetto, and that Ghetto thought he could kill Toji. There's multiple different ways you can take that down.
What if you just said 20 fingers Sukuna like above Gojo? Like what then?
20 that just upgrades my scaling. That's fine.
Huh?
Yeah,
that's
upgrades my
okay. That's not definitely say above, like below Gojo, not above. What
below Gojo? I don't need. You can't prove he's below. It doesn't matter because Gojo admits that he would have a hard time fighting him. That's all I need. Which means that implies relativity.
Let's see. Let me get this statement.
He says it would be a little tough fighting Sukuna, like in the early chapters.
What's a little tough though? Like, what's the arbitration for that?
A little tough. Obviously, in a fight context, it means that when he's fighting him, it's gonna be a little hard for him. They fight by throwing punches, using techniques, and running at each other. So that's probably what it means.
I'm asking at what point does Gojo consider someone to be a little bit tough? That's what I'm asking.
It doesn't matter.
I think it does matter.
When they're not to Jogo's extent. Obviously, he thinks Jogo's piss weak, and he has like he thinks like nothing of Jogo. So it's obviously way higher than that.
Let's say Gojo's in 100, right? And he thinks someone who's like I don't want to say like a 15. Like a 15 is a little bit tough, right? It's obviously like he's slapping that 15.
Because Jogo is like Naobito level speeds, and he thinks Jogo is like fucking useless and weak, and he doesn't give a fuck about that. But he considers Sukuna to be a little tough, and Sukuna also has this narrative of like being really, really strong. So it makes sense that Gojo can consider him to be a little tough.
We already brought up in a debate. We already brought up that 15 finger Sukuna got hurt by Jogo, and we
never got hurt. Wait, I never agreed to that. What? Don't rat like that. What the fuck? I never agreed to that at all.
Okay, so you want to talk about it now? You never agreed to it.
Even if it does, that doesn't scale to 20 fingers. So why does that matter?
No, but in the same debate, you also said 15 and 20 fingers.
What are you referencing other debates? We're talking about this debate. No, I'm ratting.
I'm saying earlier. I said earlier this debate.
I never agreed to anything involving Jogo earlier in this debate. What? No, I didn't. I haven't brought up Jogo once this entire debate except for like 2 minutes ago when I brought up Jogo being like weak compared to Gojo, but Sukuna being tough compared to Gojo.
Okay, go ahead and get the scan where Gojo thinks Jogo is weak.
He calls him weak in chapter 15. He says it's fine because you're so weak.
What if? Okay.
And then he considers 20 Finger Sukuna to be tough.
At that point, you would just say that weak person can give him a little bit.
By the way, he's underestimating that Sukuna. He doesn't have full knowledge on how strong he is, and he's underestimating him, and he still thinks it'd be tough.
Okay, I still just think at that point, Gojo can still think someone who's weak, give him a little bit of a tough fight, because you.
Why would you say that? Prove that.
Because I'm action to prove, right? At what point is someone considered a little bit tough? And I'm using
Sukuna level is when they consider him tough. There you go.
And I'm using like outside evidence for Jogo scaling in comparison to Sukuna to determine this arbitration. So I'm saying like, okay,
wait, does it even matter? Because if Gojo can beat Toji, a way weaker Gojo can beat Toji, and then this Gojo considers
that's not
Sukuna to be tough, then that would just upscale regardless. It doesn't. I don't think I need to prove anything.
Here's what I'm trying to get at.
You then have to prove that he thinks Toji is considered tough in his current state. I'd like you to prove that.
If Jogo is around 20 finger Sukuna level,
he's not.
And we obviously know
level. Who's doing that?
Okay, and we obviously know that this nigga fucking
cringe.
I was fucking like Jogo is not Jogo. So Gojo is fucking clapping up Jogo, right? But he can still think he's a little bit tough. Did that mean?
So here's the difference, right? He calls Jogo weak, and then Jogo fights 15 fingers, and he's like, "There's such a massive difference. Whoa, he's so strong." And then Gojo considers an even stronger Sukuna to be tough, right?
Okay,
that should tell you the difference.
Okay, you agree?
He never once considers Jogo to be tough. I'd wait for you to prove that he considers him tough.
Valor, you agree these statements are based around someone's perceptions of how
I'll wait for you to prove that he considers Jogo tough. If you can't, then you have no argument.
So you agree
I don't have to agree to anything. Prove what I just said, the burden I set on you.
What? You don't agree these statements are referred to their perception of like the difference?
I don't have to agree to anything. Prove the burden I set on you.
No, you do. Okay, Valor.
I don't have to answer anything until you prove the burden I set on you.
I think it's pretty indicative that like these statements that I just brought up are like in reference to someone's like arbitration of a difference. And obviously, if like Jogo considers him to be like a massive difference below Sukuna, that can still hurt him. That still implies relativity. So he thinks like relativity on high and low end is a massive difference, but it's still in the same ballpark. Is based upon scaling.
I never agreed that he could hurt him. You tried to rat and use like a fucking different debate for this one.
I didn't know. I said in this debate. If I misspoke, that's my fault. I'll get the skin though where Jogo.
I know what you're referring to. He's being sarcastic when he says that. He's trying to taunt Jogo. Doesn't actually mean he could hurt him. Okay. The entire fight, he's constantly mocking Jogo and like, man, if you tried a little harder, maybe I could laugh at you some more and shit. Like, he's like just fucking mocking Jogo the entire fight. I can get you exact quotes of what he's saying.
That can lead me reference to him saying Gojo.
Let me give you exact quotes. The moonlight's illumination makes it easier to see how pathetic you are. Come on, you can still do it. I'll keep you company until I get bored. He throws him, and then he throws the meteor, and he's like, yeah, it's gotta have hurt him. And then like Sukuna's just mocking him. He's like, yeah, if it hit. He's mocking how he's so slow. That doesn't mean he's agreeing with what he said. He's mocking him for his speed.
No. He's saying that Jogo's saying if this shit hit him, he would have got damaged to some extent. And Sukuna's like, if it hit me. So he's agreeing.
Why does that mean he's agreeing? Why can't sarcasm is obviously disagreeing, but you say it in a way where it looks like it's agreeing.
I don't think he's being sarcastic.
I've given you evidence to suggest why he'd be being sarcastic. No, the fact that he's constantly mocking him, and he's like, "Come on, I'll keep you company until I get bored." Obviously, he's not. He's gonna kill him. He's like Jogo himself is admitting such a massive difference. And Jogo decides to use a maximum technique, which Ghetto explains is the strongest technique aside from domains that you could possibly use. And he's like, yeah, it must have done something right, and Sukuna and then further mocks him for that. And he's like, why don't you open your domain, huh? And he's like, oh, I know I'd lose. When domains are clearly stronger than maximum techniques, it just further proves
Okay, so how is him saying you look pathetic means that he is fucking like
he is
acting sarcastic?
It's the narrative and the context behind it. The narrative of this entire fight.
No.
The narrative of this entire fight is to show how dominant Sukuna is and how fragile Jogo is in comparison to Sukuna. It's all to show how dangerous Sukuna is.
I think the entire fight is supposed to show how strong Gojo is. No, Gojo is in comparison. I mean,
if it was to show how strong Jogo is, then why is he getting bullied the entire time?
I don't think he can. Here's what I think. I think that he's slower, but he can hurt him.
The narrative of this fight is to show how strong Jogo is. I knew it, but I didn't think that would be a difference would be this great. How strong am I in terms of Sukuna's fingers? Being generous, I'd say about 8 or 9. Punches off his jaw, picks him up by his neck, and says, come on, you can still do it. I'll keep you company until I get bored, and throws him through the building 12 different times, and throws him across the street. And you're telling me that's the narrative of him being strong? You're out of your mind if you think that's true. The narrative is clearly Sukuna bullying him and violating him.
No, that is trying to show how strong Gojo is. Saying like, he's like, yeah, whatever. I fuck their names. I don't care. I'm just calling him Lava Head. It's trying to show how strong Lava Head is. Like, he's 8 and 9 finger level, but he can still hurt Sukuna to some extent. He's
nowhere in that narrative is it implied. I've given you the argument. I've shown you every scene how Sukuna is constantly mocking him, ripping off his jaw, laughing at him, throwing him around, actually violating him. It's bad. He picks his head up and slams him into a building's floor, rams him through 8 different stories, and you're telling me that means Jogo is to show how strong Jogo is? That is not how that narrative works. It's clearly Sukuna's narrative of showing how dominant he is. You've got them backwards, and you know that they're backwards, and you're just ratting because you know that I'm right, and you refuse to admit it, because if you do admit it, then it disproves your argument, and you cannot continue with me.
It's not him saying, I'm lying about your strength. That's not what that means. That is not what that entails at all.
You know, your characters can be sarcastic. They don't have to be honest, especially Sukuna, right?
But I'm saying that doesn't prove he's being sarcastic. It does not.
I've given you the reasons why it does. We can move on if you don't believe me.
No!
It's whatever.
Jogo getting hurt does not mean he can't hurt the other person.
That completely ignores my argument. That's a complete misrepresentation of my argument. I'm not saying because he got hurt, therefore he's being sarcastic. I'm saying the narrative and the context of this fight all dictate that Sukuna is trying to be extremely dominant, both vocally and physically. So when he is like saying this, it is like we're in doubt whether he's actually being serious about it, especially given his prior comments.
I think the fight is about I think this is about like Gojo like testing himself against Sukuna.
The narrative is despite Sukuna violating the shit out of him for like 20 minutes straight. When Jogo finally does die, the narrative concludes with Sukuna actually complimenting him. Right, it's like, yeah, stand tall, you're pretty good, right? That's how that narrative concludes. It's like, wow, Sukuna just spent the last 20 minutes beating the shit out of this dude and then complimented him. That's the narrative of that fight. That's how it goes. For him to say, like, for the narrative to just be, wow, look how strong Jogo is this entire fight, but he gets his jaw ripped off. That makes no sense. That's bad writing.
No, what it does, because Valor, it can just mean how strong Gojo is in this fight, right? Jogo is in this fight, right? That so he can be 8 and 9 finger level and still be able to damage Sukuna to some extent. That can really be fine.
Like, even from a scaling standpoint, it just doesn't make any sense, right? If fucking like Sukuna's double his strength, but like Jogo, who's like admitting inferiority, can damage him despite being like twice as weak as him, doesn't really make sense.
I don't think he's twice as weak.
He's 8. It's 8 compared to like 15.
It's
twice.
You already know the thing is.
This point has kind of been like repetitive, and I've heard enough of it. Like
the rest of my scaling, like I've given you my scaling. Yuji relative to Yuta over 20 finger, relative to Gojo over Toji. Sukuna can be over Gojo. He can be relative. He can be like low end relative. Gojo admits that he would have trouble with him. That's all I need. That implies in Gojo's own words that he's relative to him, or like it implies some level of relativity. Doesn't matter how much, as long as he has some. That completely scales him above volume 0 Gojo. Scales him above hidden inventory Gojo, who scales above Toji. Instant scaling. Or if you don't like that line of scaling, right? That's the one I just presented. We can go the Ghetto route, and we can say, okay, Yuji can fight Yuta and can survive attacks from Yuta. Yuta could damage Ghetto, and that Ghetto is stronger than Volume 0 Ghetto, who thought he could kill Toji after seeing him fight.
Toji like one shot that whatever.
Alright, you're already like restating what you like argued.
I'm just giving the outline of the scaling.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I'll just say like Toji one shot that Ghetto, so Ghetto's just wrong. Yeah, whatchamacallit? It's literally just stated that like Toji's like the strongest among it. Whatchamacallit? Gojo, despite like people knowing about like Sukuna and shit and like Yuta. So I would just say that by that extent, Toji and Gojo are on a similar playing field, and that just means that he also beats Sukuna. And since what I was arguing earlier about like, oh, stuff being relative and people of Jogo's level can give like Jogo a little trouble, that just means that this person who's all interesting. Okay, I was saying
We'll get a haircut.
Ghetto was just wrong because he got one shotted by Toji. Not only that. And I'm up there as well, standing with them. Even though like Yuta exists, like he like, and then like Sukuna is also there. So that kind of implies facing a similar standing on Gojo and Toji, and that just means that like Toji's also being Sukuna and Gojo. And just because like they give him a little bit trouble doesn't have to be a relative. As like I was arguing earlier, there can be a certain extent as to what a little trouble is, and they can be a little bit trouble, and Toji can be like, I don't know, like a lot of trouble. Like that's fine.
Okay, so I went to like from before I left. You said oh Toji one shot him, so that like that doesn't matter. The reason Toji one shot him is because Ghetto got caught off guard, so I didn't dismiss what he was yelling at all. But is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else.
Why was he caught off guard?
He's caught off guard because he was trying to. He tries to like take his curse, and then it resists, and like just from like the way he like you can literally just instantly tell from his facial expression how he's like what, and he's like he has the exclamation mark. He's like completely surprised by this. He's not prepared for Toji to turn around.
Why does that mean? Why does that mean he's off guard? Because he obviously knows he's in a fight.
If you're in a state of shock and surprise, and then someone tries to punch you, you're clearly not going to react at the same level as you would if you're prepared for it.
But that why? Okay, I don't see how that means he's off guard in the sense that's like his durability dropped. Like what the fuck?
Okay, he one shot him by knocking him out. He went unconscious, right? That's shown.
Him with my penis,
oh my fucking
dick
god!
In his mouth. I knocked him with my dick and I knocked him out.
I don't care.
Okay. Yeah. And the way you have to be prepared to take an attack in JJK, because if you're like off guard and not prepared, you'll take significantly more damage than if you weren't. This is shown like with Yuji. When Yuji's not prepared to take an attack from Mahito, he almost gets his skull split open. But when he is prepared, he's able to take Mahito's attacks. He's even able to take Black Flash attacks from Mahito.
He was already mid-fight. Ghetto was already mid-fight, so he would have no reason to lower his durability.
Are you fucking stupid? What did I just say, Jin?
If you're not prepared to take an attack,
you know Yuji was also mid-fight with Mahito and that happened to him? Crazy, I know.
He got right back up and beat the shit out of him. Unless he's talking like
but he was off guard for that one hit, because he was caught
off
by...
No, talking about Shibuya or Nami.
Yeah,
what fight scene you talking? Shibuya? What? Yuji didn't like his...
He opens the mouth and Mahito sleeps him in the face.
And that didn't one-shot Yuji?
No, it almost split his skull open. He's and the reason it didn't is because Mahito didn't fully press in the punch. He's like, yeah, if I put my back into it a bit more, your skull would be split open right now. And then when Yuji is on guard, he takes a Black Flash from Mahito. Yeah. It's clearly showing that if you're on guard, you can take way more damage than if you're not.
I'm banning him. I don't care. I'm banning him. I'm literally just gonna say.
Hey, chicken fingers is such a rat.
Ban him. What the fuck? He's a celebrity. Alright, continue.
Oh, could you? Is there silence or some shit?
Yeah, I don't know if Jin's talking or something. I don't know what's going on.
No. Jin banned him and DCF sent all his demons to fuck up that nigga's Wi-Fi.
He summoned Cthulhu to mind hex him.
Oh, brother, I'm not to have a stern talk with you.
But I have a stern talking to you, mister. You fucking
Bro, I've played 3 league games and this debate is still fucking going.
Jin just keeps talking, like, he just keeps talking, repeating
That's your
himself.
fault as well.
And I'm like, I want to move on, but like, I feel like if I don't address this, then I'm gonna like lose the point. And he keeps repeating himself, and I'm like, bro, you're repeating yourself, and he just fucking keeps doing it.
There's better things you can do besides that, like.
Okay, Mr. I beat Seth the programmer.
Right.
I'll have a stern talking to you later. Fucking cringe ass.
Oh, don't later.
Where the fuck is Richard, man? Start the fucking lobby. Oh my god.
I'll hop in with you in a minute, Jamal.
Oh,
when did I ever say I beat Seth? What the hell?
When the recording bot's in call and when the OBS is on, Ice is a different person. All I'm saying.
What the fuck? What
Shit. He got you, Ice. He got you.
Settle too. I think it actually has some retard in that shit.
If Valor wasn't recording, I still would have been talking about how my ass is fat, but you know.
He would be saying that, yeah.
He would.
You guys are so
He'd be on like
fucking
some Forker type beat right now, just being like really gay.
That's why you're losing a fucking Jin. As soon as I get my judgment, I'm gonna say you fucking lost.
Jin.
Oh
So he agrees he's crazy.
Go ahead, Jin.
That nigga's lucky as shit. I literally got so mad trying to ban him. I fucking left him. Oh my god.
He left the call. He just got raged. Fucking out
nigga
so
said
hard. He broke the call.
I was like trying to ban him, but like I raged so hard, like I pushed the leave serve button by mistake. Like, oh my god.
There are the other sides.
The thing is,
I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay, like
why are you lying?
Yeah, just from that, like we can just stop that debate. Like, oh my god, I don't care. Like we can go to conclusions. Like
that's fine. We can conclude then. Okay, I'll just go first. Actually, you can go first.
Yeah. I just think that I prove that Toji can one shot Naoya, who can like one shot or damage Yuji, which would entail that.
Nigga.
I also brought up like Naoya considering like Toji to be on the same tier as Gojo, who's like piecing up Sukuna. And I just think like I had a higher speed argument considering that like Naoya wasn't going full speed against Yuji, and he was getting pieced up, like with Choso helping him. And then like the same person who fought like a faster Naoya was able to like just keep up with him, like going at his maximum speed. So I'll just have faster speed scaling and like at least like enough AP to damage him. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so in conclusion, so to start off, like my scaling is just like Yuji is relative to Yuta, who's over 20 finger Sukuna, who's relative to Gojo or greater than Gojo, it doesn't matter, over Toji. For the Yuji relative to Yuta stuff, we agreed that he's just reacting, like Jin agreed that he's relative to him, doesn't matter. He tried to like say like, oh, Naoya is like blitzing Yuji though. I gave it an explanation as to why that's the case, and it's not necessarily that he's so much faster than him, it's that the way his technique works is causing Yuji to struggle to actually react to him, kind of like a mind hacks. And then I gave the example of Maki, how as soon as she understands the concept, she's instantly able to react to him despite getting blitzed prior. Then we talked about did we get to talk about AP? Fuck. It wouldn't matter because I scaled him to Yuta over Sukuna over Toji. That should be inherent AP. Yeah, we didn't talk about hacks. That's what I wanted to talk about. But yeah, he scales that way. I gave a second line of scaling to Yuji relative to Yuta, who's able to damage Ghetto, who scales above hidden inventory Ghetto, who thought he could beat Toji. I gave that second line of scaling. So I have two different lines of scaling to the same conclusion. We talked about a bunch of like weird things that are kind of relevant but like hard to remember. So I'm like, I can't really remember most of them, but yeah, a lot of it was rambling. The key points mainly are just like, okay, does Naoya actually blitz Yuji? I think I pretty evidently proved that, you know, there's a reason why Yuji's failing to react, and not necessarily that Yuji's struggling in any way. I also showed that like current Yuji is just stronger than that Yuji, So it wouldn't scale even if he did blitz him, even if I lost that point. Current Yuji's stronger, so it wouldn't matter anyway.
Alright. Oh, you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I can't think of anything.
Alright, well, after listening to this debate, I will say this is the new god at JJK. Jin was just very concise in his points, and in the alternate reality, Jin, you fucking lost, bro.
You're such a... Why would you do that? That's so mean. That's so mean.